The blaring sirens of police cars sliced through the quiet suburban morning like a nightmare I never saw coming. I stepped onto my porch with my heart hammering hard but my face locked in perfect calm. Rebecca stood there jabbing her finger at me while screaming into her phone about some deadly threat. She swore I had attacked her with a weapon only minutes earlier in broad daylight. But the truth was she had just taken a chainsaw to my brand new fence in my own backyard. I had moved to Willow Creek Estate 6 months ago, chasing the quiet suburban dream after city burnout. My house had the perfect green lawn and a tall wooden fence overlooking the community park. Rebecca ran the HOA with an iron fist, and she treated every rule like holy law. She was a 50-something woman who wore pastel cardigans and carried her clipboard like a weapon. Her smile looked sweet, but her eyes always scanned for the next violation to punish. The first complaint arrived in my mailbox just weeks after I unpacked my boxes. The letter claimed my fence color was not on the official HOA-approved palette at all. I double-checked every document and sent back a polite email with all the proof attached. She ignored my response and fired off more certified letters threatening daily fines.
You can't be serious.
The pressure built slowly in my chest every single time her car slowed near my driveway. Then she showed up unannounced one afternoon with her tape measure and a fake concerned frown. This fence is clearly non-compliant and I expect it fixed before the next board meeting, she declared. I kept my voice steady and suggested we review the original plans together right then. Her eyes narrowed into slits while she muttered about troublemakers destroying neighborhood standards. That visit marked the start of her personal campaign to turn my life into pure hell. Neighbors started avoiding my waves and whispering behind their hands at every block party. The rumors she planted painted me as some angry outsider who hated rules and community. I felt the social walls closing in, but I refused to show even a hint of weakness. One bright Saturday, the angry buzz of a chainsaw tore through the air without any warning. The sharp smell of gasoline and fresh sawdust hit my nose as I sprinted outside. There was Rebecca in work gloves and goggles, hacking away at my fence posts with fury. She yelled over the roar that this section broke property line rules, and she was fixing it. I demanded she stop immediately while my hands stayed visible and my tone stayed even. She laughed with pure sarcasm and claimed the HOA gave her full authority to act. The chainsaw screamed louder as another chunk of my fence crashed onto the grass with a thud. I pulled out my phone and started recording every swing while my stomach twisted in disbelief. Then I dialed 911, describing the trespass and deliberate damage in the clearest words possible. When the officers arrived, Rebecca flipped the script and played the terrified victim perfectly. She told them I had lunged at her first and made her fear for her life. The police took careful notes and eyed both of us, trying to piece together the truth. They warned her about trespassing but sent her home without handcuffs that same afternoon. From that moment, the harassment exploded into daily calls and even nastier letters in my box. She turned the whole neighborhood against me with her twisted version of the fence attack. At the monthly HOA meeting, she stood tall and called me a clear danger to families. I sat quietly in the back row recording every single word on my hidden phone app. Her face flushed deep red when I asked calmly for the exact rule she was enforcing. That meeting ended with her ramming through a massive fine aimed straight at my property. I knew right then it was time to build an unbreakable wall of evidence against her. I installed security cameras covering every inch of my yard and saved every email. Rebecca made her fatal mistake when she slipped a handwritten note under my door at dusk. The note admitted she had taken the chainsaw action without full board approval that day. My lawyer studied the mountain of proof and filed a rock-solid lawsuit the following week. The case moved fast through court because my documentation left zero room for her lies. During discovery, we uncovered unpaid liens on a narrow strip along our shared property line. That exact strip she had obsessed over was scheduled for public auction to settle her debts. I attended the auction with my lawyer and placed the winning bid with quiet confidence. Now that entire property line strip belonged to me by legal deed and full right. Rebecca's backyard suddenly broke every single rule she had spent years forcing on others. She had to rip out her own sheds and fences while losing a huge chunk of yard. The HOA board members saw the massive liability she created and turned on her fast. They called an emergency vote and stripped her of the president title by landslide. Her reputation collapsed as the full court story spread through the neighborhood like wildfire. The suburb felt peaceful again with no more surprise inspections or clipboard ambushes. I sat on my new deck overlooking the expanded property line with a deep, satisfied breath. The smell of fresh grass and freedom replaced the old tension that once hung in the air. It was darkly funny how one chainsaw swing from the Queen of Control cost her everything. Rebecca learned the hard way that tiny tyrants always trip over their own power trips.